Let's just get straight into it. Number 1. The Great Emu War. In 1932, Australian farmers faced a literal invasion of 20,000 emus that were absolutely wrecking their wheat crops. The government decided to send in the actual military with Lewis machine guns and trucks, expecting an easy win over a bunch of birds. However, the emus turned out to be tactical geniuses. They split into small groups under fire and sprinted away with incredible speed. Soldiers complained that the birds could take multiple hits and keep running like feathered tanks. After a month of wasted ammo and zero progress, the military officially admitted defeat. In the end, the emus remained masters of the outback, winning the only war humans ever fought against birds. Number 2. The Carrot Conspiracy. Most of us grew up eating carrots because we were told they give you the superpower to see in total darkness. In reality, this myth was cooked up by British intelligence during World War II to deceive the enemy. When the British started shooting down German planes at night with high frequency, they needed to hide the invention of their new secret radar technology. They planted stories in the newspapers claiming their pilots had phenomenal vision because of a diet consisting strictly of carrots. The German High Command believed it so much that they started forcing their own pilots to eat tons of the vegetable. The hoax was so successful that it outlived the war and is still treated as scientific truth in households today. Number 3. The Dancing Plague. In the summer of 1518, in the city of Strasbourg, a woman named Frau Trophia stepped into the street and just started dancing without any music. By the end of the week, 30 people had joined her, and within a month, the dancing crowd grew to over 400. People couldn't stop. They danced until they had bloody feet, fainted from exhaustion, or even died of heart attacks. The authorities, instead of isolating the sick, decided the only cure was for them to dance it out to the end. They built a wooden stage and hired professional musicians and shills to keep the beat going. This mass hysteria lasted for months, remaining one of the creepiest and most unexplained mysteries of medieval medicine. Number 4. The Battle of Karansebes. In 1788, an Austrian army of 100,000 men managed to lose a battle where their enemy, the Ottomans, didn't even show up. It all started when the vanguard bought several barrels of schnapps from local travelers and refused to share with the infantry. A brawl broke out, someone jokingly shouted "Turks," and a chain reaction of panic ripped through the multi-ethnic troops. Due to the language barrier, officers shouting "Halt" in German were misunderstood as soldiers shouting "Allah" in Turkish, and the army started massacring itself in the dark. In this ridiculous slaughter, they lost about 10,000 men, abandoned their cannons, and retreated in terror. When the actual Turkish army arrived 2 days later, they found a field littered with dead enemies who had defeated themselves. Number 5. The Deadly Speech. The 9th U.S. President, William Henry Harrison, really wanted to prove to voters that he was still a tough guy despite his age. On his inauguration day, the weather was horrific, freezing winds and pouring rain, but Harrison refused to wear a coat or a hat. He delivered the longest inaugural address in U.S. history, lasting over 2 hours while standing in the freezing rain. After this triumphant performance, he predictably came down with a severe cold that spiraled into pneumonia. His treatment with the best medicine of the time, like castor oil and opium, only accelerated the end. Exactly 31 days after taking office, he passed away, becoming the president with the shortest term in history. Number 6. The Most Successful Pirate. When we hear the word pirate, we imagine a rugged man with a beard, but history says otherwise. Madame Chang was an ordinary woman who married a legendary pirate and took over the business after his death. She created a code of laws where the penalty for disobedience was death, and she ruled a fleet of 1,800 ships with an iron fist. Under her command were 80,000 sailors, making her fleet more powerful than the navies of many actual countries. The Chinese government, along with the British and Portuguese navies, tried for years to destroy her, but failed every single time. Eventually, the authorities gave up and offered her amnesty, allowing her to retire with her riches and open her own gambling house. Number 7. The War of the Oaken Bucket. In 1325, two Italian city-states, Modena and Bologna, started a full-scale war over a simple wooden bucket. A group of soldiers from Modena snuck into Bologna and stole a bucket from a public well just to troll their neighbors. Bologna took this as a national insult and demanded the property back. When Modena refused, they raised an army of 30,000 men. Thousands of people died in the resulting battle, and Bologna, despite having a massive numerical advantage, lost miserably. The winners from Modena didn't just keep the bucket, they put it on display in their city's main cathedral. The irony is that the bucket is still there today, a symbol of their great victory over common sense. Number 8. Napoleon versus the bunnies. After signing the Treaty of Tilsit, Napoleon decided to host a massive rabbit hunt for his generals. His chief of staff purchased about 3,000 domestic rabbits to ensure the hunt was quick and successful. However, when the cages were opened, instead of running away in terror, the rabbits decided that Napoleon was the man who had brought them lunch. A massive, fluffy horde charged at the emperor, climbing up his legs and trying to scramble onto his shoulders. The great conqueror of Europe, used to cannonballs and bayonets, was terrified by the relentless pressure of the hungry bunnies. He was forced to flee to his carriage, swatting away the attackers with a fly swatter and his sword.